Hi, I'm Laura. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So you may have seen some of my plant shopping videos, and trust me, I'm still making those. I love making them so much. But I wanted to introduce something new to the channel where I go around the house, do some general plant care, repotting, watering, stuff like that. So let's dive right in. I have a philodendron Gabby here that I propagated and put into fluval stratum about a few months ago, so it is ready to be repotted. As you can see by these roots, it is time. All right, so before we can do that, I have these stemless wine cups. They're made of plastic, and I want to drill some holes in the bottom so that they can be converted into clear plant pots. I figured for the philodendron Gabby, I couldn't just do some basic cups. I wanted to do nice, fancy little pot for it. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the backyard and drill some holes. So we have our holes all drilled in these cups. I made 8 cups. I'm not sure how many cuttings I have, but I figure if we need to double up, we can. But we'll see when we get there. So I like to see the roots of my plants so I know how they're doing. So I typically repurpose clear cups for my plants, but because it's a Gabby and they're special, I wanted to try something new by drilling these holes, and I think it's gonna work out really well. So let's get to repotting. I have my soil mix. I made sure to get lots of amendments in here. So we have potting mix, cocoa bark, we have orchid bark and perlite, some good chunky perlite, and horticultural charcoal. So I'm just gonna mix this up real quick. All right, so a good chunky mix. Let's see what we have in the cup. Okay, don't want to disturb the roots too much, but they have grown out of this cup. I'm thinking I might cut the cup up. Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. So we lost a couple of roots, but not too bad. I don't know if you can see that. Now I'm not too worried about removing the stratum from the cuttings, but I do want to untangle these a little bit. There's one. Got one leaf here. This little plantlet here. Lots of beautiful new growth on this one. If you can look past all of the stratum on those leaves. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the philodendron Gabby, these used to be very, very rare, highly sought after collector's items basically among the plant community. They have gotten a lot more common, or less rare at least. So the philodendron Gabby is a mutation of the philodendron Brazil, and it's selectively cultivated by Gabriella plants. And back in early 2020, 2021, they were incredibly sought after in the plant community, and so they were just so expensive. I think I got my mother plant in 21. I spent probably $400 on it, and now they're about, I believe, $170 for a little 3-inch, 4-inch plant. They were limiting them one per purchase per year, and now it's one purchase per month. So they're certainly, the market has been better. They're still very expensive. $170 is still a lot of money, but you know, it's just, the market has definitely died down quite a bit. So let's see what we have here. Now, my experience with the Gabby has been very great. Like, it's not a very finicky plant. It does like a lot of light in order to keep pushing out this crazy awesome variegation. Overall, not super finicky. Does have a lot of, it's very forgiving. So I've gone through a lot of dry spells where I'm not taking care of my plants as much as I should be, and it's put out new growth. It's done amazingly. One of the big things about Gabby is they tend to have very narrow internodal space, which means each leaf is going to be very close to each other, and it can be very slow growing. But I have experienced that some of the internodal space has gotten longer, so it became easier for me to propagate. And whenever they're really close together, it's really hard to propagate, but once it got longer, super easy to propagate. I have a big bushy mama plant with some long vines on them. Alright, so here we have our first Gabby. Here's one. Let's see how many I have. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. So I made 8 cups, and I have 8 cuttings. When I first got my Gabby, gosh, they were selling in Facebook Marketplace for like $100 a leaf or more, and it was just such a crazy time. I don't know if how many of you were collectors at that time, but it was a crazy time to be a plant collector. I'm so glad that the market has changed the way it has. Plants need to be accessible for, you know, therapeutic reasons, for anyone who, you know, finds themselves at home and needs something to keep their hands occupied. I found plants to be incredibly therapeutic. So I'm glad that you can have nice plants for cheaper these days. I'm gonna try to pack it down a little, get some of them air pockets out of there. We want it to be airy soil, but we don't want any pockets, so that should be good. Like that. Now, would I ever spend $400 on a plant like this again? A little 3-inch plant? No. Please don't ever let me do that again. Someone hold me accountable, because as much as I do love the Gabby and as grateful that I could afford that at that time, there's just so much money to spend on such a small plant that could potentially die without any real reason other than, you know, you looked at me wrong. Some plants be like that. I don't ever want to go through that catastrophe. I have spent a lot of money on plants that just didn't make it, and as sad as that makes me, I don't ever want to do that again. It's been a journey for sure. So I started collecting plants during the pandemic, like most people, but before that, we've always had houseplants growing up. My mom was really big into plants, and so they were just something that was always there, and I recognized, like, hey, that's nice. I had a peace lily that I kept. I saved it from a flower shop, and it wasn't doing super well, but I repotted it, and back, you know, in my early teens, and I just kept it going for a really long time. But that was the extent of my plant collection, was that one peace lily, and I still have it to this day. It's been struggling, but it's still here to this day. My favorite thing about the peace lily is how vocal it is, I guess you could say. It's very dramatic with how it's feeling, and it's not afraid to tell you how it's feeling, and I am all about that life. Tell me how you're feeling, don't beat around the bush, because nobody's got time for that. Got this one leafer. Now I do think I'm going to give it a couple of months, let them acclimate to the soil, and I'll probably list these for sale in one of our local purge groups here in Houston. I've been through some life transitions, and I decided I'm gonna go back to school just to finish my bachelor's. I'm a senior at the University of Houston, and when the pandemic came, stopped going to classes. Well, backtrack. We went online, which was great, and whenever classes started going back to in person, I did not want to go to campus and expose myself unnecessarily to, you know, contracting coronavirus. So I wanted to take some time. I wanted to let the virus get better and die down, and so I took a semester off, which turned into 3 years off, and I'm ready to go back. So I will be starting this fall, and hopefully some of these cuttings will help with my tuition whenever they acclimate a little more. Okay, and I have run out of my soil mix, so I think I'm gonna go make some more after this one. be right back. All right, so we have some more soil mix. Now we have one left, and I want to top off this one. Didn't need such a large batch this time. Cute. Alright, this is the last one. Let me know what you guys think of this video, where I can improve, if you like it, if you want me to do other things, I don't know. Just let me know in the comments. I'm really curious how you guys are going to feel about this. I'm still gonna be making my plant shopping videos, so definitely make sure that you tune in for those. Recently, Houston was hit with a pretty bad hurricane. It was Category 1, which you expect Category 1 out of 5 to be kind of not as bad, but this Category 1 was no joke, that's for sure. I was born and raised here in the Houston area, so I've seen my fair share of hurricanes. I think Harvey was the last hurricane that we saw, and boy was he angry with us. But something about Beryl was just so bad. I don't know what's going on with that. But so my plant shopping videos have been put on hold, at least until some of the nurseries nearby have had their time to recover from all of that. And a lot of people are still without power. It's been a week now, and a lot of people are still without power and just cleaning up. We still have so many branches in the backyard, and we waiting on the city to come pick up the extra branches and stuff. So lots of hurricane repairs are being done these days. Anyway, there's the last one. We have 8 freshly potted up Gabbies. Alright guys, so I'm gonna go water my freshly repotted Gabbies, and I hope you liked this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you did. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more of these, what you want to see next. I do hope to do this about once a week, some more of these types of videos. But don't worry, I will be back tomorrow with another plant shopping video. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do so, and I will see you again. Bye!